of fantasy authors take on a sadistic games master. Will they survive? Maybe deal with your own problems, buddy. Authors and Dragons! Authors and Dragons!
Hello, beautiful internet people. I'm John Hartness, and I'll be playing the role of Fandingo the Fantastical. Bard of all trades. Master of everything. No, wait, that's not how that goes. Anyway, in real life, I write the Quincy Harker Demon Hunter series, the Bubba the Monster Hunter series, the Black Knight Chronicles, and other assorted things. Go look me up. Buy some shit.
Hi, I'm Joseph Barassi. I play the role of Bjorg Bjornsson, enthusiastic and violent barbarian. In real life, I am a sword instructor, one-time paper bundle carrier, and horrific prank victim of the St. Peter Hospital Psychiatric Ward's orderly staff. Tonight, I am brought to you by Baron Yeager for all your bear inebriating needs. Go buy my books.
Hello. This is Rick Gualtieri, and I am playing the mysterious Arrow of the Gods, who serves all the gods, including one whose name he still can't say. In real life, I write several series, including the Tome of Bill and its sequel series, Bill of the Dead. And more importantly for right now, my book, Get Bent, will be coming out on audio on October 16th. So be sure to check that out.
Hello, friends. My name is Robert Bevan. I play the role of Klaus Richter, notorious rogue. In real life, I write the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels and short stories, starting with the first book, Critical Failures.
Hi there, my name's Steve Wetherill, and I play Brandon Firemaster, accomplished bodybuilding monk and sometime reader of words. In real life, I write the comedy fantasy series The Doomsayer Journeys.
Hey there, I am Drew Hayes, author, dungeon master, podcaster, and yet somehow all those things equal a career. In my other life, I write books such as Superpowered NPCs, Fred the Vampire Accountant, and this month's Shingles, Slaughter on Giggle Time Mountain. And speaking of shingles, boys, I think we have some news to share.
We done gone to the big time, kids.
Well, we have an audiobook coming out.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's something. We didn't get arrested.
We haven't been sued by the narrators yet.
So far, so good.
No,
it's Shingles, the first 6 books from 2018. So that is Ghost of Hooker Alley by Robert Bevan, Gary's Children by Rick Gualtieri, The Monkey's Penis by Steve Wetherill, Aliens Wrecked Our Kegger by Drew Hayes, Zombies Ate My Homework by John Hartness, and The Legend of Jimmy Headshot, once again by Rick Gualtieri. So you get a double dose of Rick, all up in your ear holes.
And we apologize in advance for that.
Double dose of Rick in your ear.
Yeah.
The name of my porno.
We're never coming back from that.
Yeah. It's Rick time.
Don't forget the holes, Joe. I said holes for a reason.
Oh, right, ear holes. Specifically the hole parts of the ears.
You got a rib on each side.
It's worse, and I don't know entirely why, but it is. Anyway, go buy our book, or our audiobook. It's available on Audible for pre-order right now. It comes out on October 23rd, so plenty of time to get your scares in. It's 13 hours long, so, get some value for your credit there.
And wouldn't it be hilarious if that bullshit made a big Audible bestseller list? So y'all should go buy a bunch of copies so we supplant George R.R. Martin or Stephen King or somebody like that.
Or R.L. Stein.
Ouch.
Especially R.L. Stein.
The goal truly is to make R.L. Stein open his paper, read the listing, and go, what the fuck?
Man, Jesus Christ, we totally missed the opportunity to put up to do it under like a shared pen name of Star L. Ein.
Dancing a little close to parody on that one. Anyway, when last we left our adventurers...
That's a fair descriptor.
When last we left our adventurers, they had gone through a room carefully and examined a lot of stuff and found a code in a book and then gone down a hallway and stepped through another door in which I'm going to need perceptions.
My time to shine.
Time to suck.
Ride or die, bitches.
The Arrow of the Gods gets a mighty 10.
That's a for sure 10.
Brandon Firemaster gets an 18.
Bjorg gets a 22.
Fendingo feels inadequate with his 16.
Klaus feels inadequate because his button's not working. Come on, button. I'm pushing the button, I swear.
There are so many places to go with that. It's like I'm paralyzed with choice.
Normally we cut this sort of thing, but my God, I am really tempted to let this one slide.
Yeah, this is like every date in high school. I swear to God, I'm pressing the button. I swear to God, I'm pressing the button. Oh, that's not the button.
All right, Klaus Richter rolls a 14.
Alrighty. Okay, everyone, even down to the Arrow of the Gods, can see that you are in a room.
Whoa.
There. Yeah, it is.
My God!
Room-like.
And what a room.
There are tables sort of at the rear where it looks like people might have eaten and talked and what have you, sort of communal. There's a raised section very clearly above in the middle of those tables. Sort of a grand carpet sort of sprawled across that.
Fuck.
There is benches, and that's all you get with the 10. So everybody who beat 15 plus. So that's Fandingo, Brandon, and Bjorg. You all can notice the scent of dried, lingering blood in the air, as well as the pit in the center that you can't really see down, but I know that you as people can see down. So yeah, it's a bloody pit. And you can also notice that there is another of those little gem-looking altars, like what you used on the key once already. And Bjorg, with your 22, you can notice that at the top of the raised section, there are fancier-looking chairs, as if it was a place for those with more affluence or power or position.
Or body. More body.
And yeah, you can notice there's definitely like you kind of walk over and peer in the pit a little bit and you're like, oh wow, there's like scratches and there's a lot of blood stains. Shit went down in this pit.
What about the carpet?
There's a pit.
There is a pit. There's also a carpet, and those chairs have very, very fine upholstery.
I am more concerned about the rug than the bloody pit.
We have had issues with rugs before.
And we've done all right with pits so far.
Unless there's water in them.
Bjorg is going to look at the carpet, and then he's going to look around and see if there are any drapes for it to match. Because that's important.
It is a windowless room.
Oh.
You have not seen any windows since being in this place. You are deep within the earth.
Aren't we underground?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Bjorg, why don't you poke the carpet with your sword while we stand way over here?
That seems like a terrible idea.
Depends on who you're asking.
I'll do it. Bjork will walk up, poke the carpet with his sword. He trusts his friends for some unfathomable reason.
Just to be clear, are you just poking it, or are you doing an actual attack?
He's poking it.
Okay, you poke it and nothing happens.
It's fine.
Okay.
We could fire a fire arrow into it.
The most important thing is to make sure the carpet is safe.
It's a nice looking carpet, guys.
When is your burn things down indiscriminately attitude actually going to present itself at a useful time?
Look, when I want to get through a roadblock, I burn that shit down. I don't just burn a carpet because it's there. I'm not a monster.
You know something? The best looking carpets are the ones you can't trust.
I would like to just say for a moment that I love that we're in this room with this like pit and this raised dais and horrible stuff happened here. All we give a shit about is whether or not the carpet is evil.
We've had bad experience with soft furnishings.
That is a good idea. I will try to detect evil.
Detecting evil. I believe that allows you to detect outsiders, angelic, and demonic presences.
Yes, celestial fiend or undead.
In that case, you detect no evil.
Fandingo I'm going to go look in the pit.
Bjorg will follow Fandingo over to the pit because, it looks familiar. That pit actually kind of looks pretty homey.
With his 14, did Klaus notice the carpet?
Oh, yeah. Carpet was a gimme. Everybody
All
got
right.
the carpet.
I-
It's right there, and it takes up a huge section of floor.
Klaus would like to take off his shoes and rub his feet on the carpet.
Okay, and what's your AC?
Uh-oh. Carpet, I was really talking good about you for 15.
Okay, you rub your feet on the carpet.
All right. Whew. Dodged that bullet. How does it feel?
Soft. Fancy,
Nice.
honestly.
Okay. Well, that's my turn.
What's in the pit?
Okay, so when you look down, you see, again, blood stains, kind of etchings, some, like, remains. You see, like, a twisted bone here and, like, a warped hand array of bones there. There's not a lot left. Time has sort of taken a bat to a good chunk of this place, but there's a few recognizable remains. This is clearly a pit in which things fought to the death. It doesn't take a huge amount of context to put together. You're literally standing in a mini arena, a makeshift arena.
Oh, it's like home.
And roll me an intelligence check.
Everyone?
No, just Fandango. He's the only one who's dug deep enough to get the context.
Okay.
Fandango rolls a 10.
Okay, I'm not going to give it to you, but you, the player, can always put it together yourself.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Fuck if I know. There's a pit. I mean,
Can Bjorg roll perception as well? Because he's looking at the pit.
You guys kind of your perception's good enough to just walk around. You can look in a pit.
No, I meant the intelligence.
Oh, the intelligence. Yeah, you were around in that last room, so you do have the context.
All right. Bjorg rolls a 11.
All right. Well, Bjorg doesn't get it, but Joe might. That's up to you.
I barely remember last week.
I wonder if they like experimented on shit and threw it in here to fight each other.
Hey, look at that.
Could be.
That would explain those dead things we found.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. This entire underground setup is actually just a complicated war game?
Cockfight.
Cockfighting. Cockfighting?
Fandango
That's
takes
strange.
2 big steps away from Bjork.
Why would anyone do that? Why would anyone do
Because they're dicks.
that? But that's just it. You could bruise. There's bruising and damaging and...
In an effort to avoid being part of this conversation, Brandon Firemaster is going to look to the chairs on the upraised plinth and see if he can get to one.
Brandon, I don't understand. Why would people engage in cockfighting?
I don't understand anything anymore, Bjork, and neither do I want to.
How high is that platform?
We're going to say it's about 8 feet high.
Is there a ladder?
I want to climb up into one of the chairs now.
There's stairs right in front of it.
Oh, okay.
You just have to kind of walk across the carpet to get to them.
Stairs
Yeah,
are for average people, and I don't like the look of that carpet still, so I want to climb up.
It feels great, man. I will join him, but I'll take the stairs.
Show me your exact path.
All right, going across the carpet. Here, and there.
Okay. Yeah, you make it up onto the platform with that path. Well
Okay,
done.
well, as long as the carpet didn't kill me, I'm going to go sit in a chair.
Which chair?
The one I just moved to.
Steve, give me, let's say athletics to just hop up on the thing without using the stairs.
Jesus. Brandon Firemaster rolls a disappointing 8.
I don't know exactly what the things are, but then again, I guess you are just hopping up slightly. It's not that hard.
It's 8 feet high.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, it looks like No, I'm not going to give it to you. That's too low.
Brandon, can I roll an extra perception check to see if anybody saw me fail that?
Oh, we definitely saw
I'm going to
you.
need everybody to do perceptions, them to see if they saw it, you to see if you notice.
Fandango perceives 15 worth of Brandon failure.
Arrow of the Gods perceives a 13.
Bjorg perceives 15.
Shit, Klaus gets a natural 1. I got into the chair specifically so I could have a view of this.
You lean back too far in your chair trying to relax and do like the wobble. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And by the time you stabilize, you've missed the whole thing. So everybody except Klaus and Arrow of the Gods can see that happen, and Brandon, you definitely notice that Fendingo and Bjorg caught that show.
Golf claps.
Great. You all stopped talking about your cocks long enough to notice that. Brilliant. That's just great, guys.
We weren't talking about our cocks. We were talking about why other people might fight with theirs. It doesn't make sense.
I don't care whose cocks you were talking about. Stop looking at me.
I'm neither denying nor confirming.
The Arrow of the Gods is ignoring all of you to head to the center of the rug and see if he can make sense of this pattern.
I got a front row seat for this shit.
All right, so you're going into the center of the rug?
Yes.
Okay. So who's doing what next?
Klaus will shout for Fandingo and Bjorg to fight each other.
No.
Bjorg is going to look at Fendingo and then back at Klaus and go, "How dumb do you think I am?"
You think you can't take him?
Bjorg is just going to stare at Klaus for a second. "You shit your pants regularly." And then he's going to walk over this way.
That happened once.
That we know of.
You could be shitting your pants right now.
Fendingo's going to go over to the thingy over here. So I want to examine this altar over here.
Oh, it looks very similar to the one that you saw a few rooms ago, but it corresponds to a different color on the key that you're holding, or the gems on the key that you're holding.
I don't remember what I did to activate it last time.
You didn't last time either.
Oh, I guess we're going to play the trial and error game again.
Are there any holes in it?
There are not.
I'm going to press the key to the stone. Start pressing the key to stones until something happens.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you press the key to the stone in the center. The second gem on the key lights up.
Cool. Hey, guys, I made a lighty thingy again.
Is that good?
Well,
2 gemstones give you greater access to more places, and the more gemstones you have activated, the higher level clearance items you can buy from the Gentronome kiosks.
That's what I was going to say is more gems means cooler shit.
It's almost like you could go fight the main monster right now if you wanted, or you could explore and see if you can get stuff to strengthen yourself. You know, if you were looking at it as sort of like a dungeon setup.
But as it is,
That would assume that we were intelligent and make optimized decisions.
all right, so I got the lighty key thing.
When I'm asleep, I dream that I'm a bear.
How deep is this pit?
Only one way to find out.
Let's say 15 feet. Far enough down that no one could comfortably jump out with ease. Like, nothing's going to jump out comfortably with ease.
All right. These stairs down, is there a way to get to them, or?
Yeah, I didn't draw the whole room, but presume there's a walkway over on the edge.
All right. Arrow will walk down and check out this, see if there's anything that's worth seeing down here.
Oh, Fendingo wants to watch this shit.
Okay. If you want to take your time, you can do it with advantage, but I am going to need an investigation check.
Advantage or not really doesn't matter, so we'll say a 7.
Oh, you can take the 8. I gave it to you. Really, really do your best. You find blood and scraps of bones, and a lot of scratch marks, claws, like a lot of weird shit fought to death down here.
Does it look like there's anything cool down there?
There's blood.
That's a no.
While this is going on, Brandon Firemaster has been concentrating really hard on making what should be a really simple jump.
Yeah, you can have advantage.
Hooray.
Oh, good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. With advantage, Brandon Firemaster gets 23.
You nimbly leap atop the platform.
Okay, did everybody see me do that?
Yes, Brandon.
I wasn't paying attention. I was
I'm down in a pit.
the arrow of the gods.
I'm watching the Arrow of the Gods.
The Arrow of the Gods definitely didn't see.
Bjorg is going to walk up to the stairs onto the plinth and then walk up those stairs so that he is also up there. And then he's going to sit in one of the nice upholstered chairs.
This is the life, huh?
I am curious as to their comfort level.
You get the feeling they probably would have been comfortable when they were first made. I mean, age does diminish things, but they're not bad. I mean, they're clearly well crafted. They were made for people of some import. Structurally sound.
They're not gnome-sized?
Yeah, they're gnome-sized, but I mean, it's still a chair. In the same way that we can sit in a child's chair to kindergarten, you can do it. It's only so comfortable, but it is comfortable, I guess.
I'm pretty sure that's Bjorg trying to sit in a shoebox.
He's like a cat.
Bjorg trying to piss at the kiddie toilet.
Bjorg is just going to look over at the other ones from his hunched up, squunched up position and say, "If it fits, I sit."
I guess Fandango will go down in the pit because everybody else is up there.
Oh, fight. Here we go.
2 minutes or 1 man leaves.
Oh, all right, I'll leave. I mean, but I was going to poke around.
All right, Fandango, take your time. Give me an investigation advantage.
With advantage, that's a 21.
Oh, Fandango, as you are poking around amidst the, well, just wreckage, carnage, horrible memories of lives destroyed too soon.
Hey, look, I made this skeleton hand give you the finger.
You find a small part in the back where the brick is actually eroded. And as you press against it, you notice it kind of crumbles. And you start to smooth and clear it out. And you find a skull of a humanoid-looking creature with strange markings upon it.
Arrow of the Gods will step up to Fandango, clap in the back, and be like, "I was waiting to see if you'd notice that."
Yeah. Is that going to be Knowledge Arcana to see if I know what the fuck those symbols mean, or?
I will give you Arcana or History.
Arcana it is.
Oh, wait, no. Just Arcana, actually, for this one.
That's okay, because History ain't worth a fuck. Knowledge Arcana is a 22.
Okay, you know the basics enough of enchantment to recognize that it's got some of the sort of standard work you would see someone attempting to put into a sword or armor. Little, basically, runes and stuff meant to toughen, increase durability, increase strength. Something on there like to increase speed, which would make a sword cut faster and better. But it's little bits and pieces broken up and woven through in a way that it's very strange. And also, so far as you know, there's no such thing as successful grafting of these enchantments into flesh. But this skull looks like it might actually be a case where it was successful because the lines and everything are stable.
Huh, so they tried to enchant this skull.
There's a shitload of experimentation going on here.
Fandango, let me see it for a second. Come on, just for a second here.
Yeah. The thing about skulls, they used to be in people.
Thanks for that tip. Come on.
You should have made you roll for that.
You can hold it.
I want to try something.
Bend over, Arrow. That could be in people again.
After you detect evil on it. Detect evil first.
Fine, I do my divine sense on it.
Well, it is not undead or a fiend or it's not alive. It's not any of those things. It's a skull.
Okay, here.
It's a skull. All right, so since this thing is enchanted with magic, I rip the jaw off and put it on top of my head as a hat and see if anything happens.
You snap the jaw off and place it on top of your head. Again, it's not really enchanted. It's more like you're seeing the remains of an enchantment.
Dude.
All right. Hand the pieces back to Fandango. Okay.
It doesn't work.
Just checking.
Bjorg is just staring at this display, and he just looks at the other two from his scrunched up in the cat box position, and just says,
I don't understand anything that's going on right now.
This fight displeases me.
That's because you're not the Arrow of the Gods.
This is
Clearly.
avant-garde. theatre.
Oh,
There's something deep going on here. It's symbolic, guys.
what are those?
Above your level.
What are those big wooden things on the side of the platform?
They represent mortality.
Jesus.
So the side of the platform, there are tables, like big communal seating tables for, like, people could sit, eat, talk, etc. And then there are benches around the actual arena, and then you guys are in the good seats where you can both hang out and get a good show of what's going on.
Oh, this is a shitty show.
Well, you haven't bioengineered any monsters to fight.
I'm going to put the skull in my bag of holding.
Alrighty.
And then walk back up out of the pit and go talk to the rest of the crew.
What did you find?
So it looks like they were enchanting monsters and putting them in the pit to fight one another. I found a skull with some shit written on it, and then the Arrow of the Gods decided to wear part of it for a hat, and it was really bad. But
It's called detective work.
it's called You're a Dick.
Yes, a private dick.
Well, we know who we're volunteering for the first cockfight.
Klaus wonders how if he rolled the carpet up, could he fit it into his bag of holding?
You'd really have to roll it and see.
All right, Klaus will go find out. And
That's good, because the next thing I wanted to do was look under the carpet to see if there were trapdoors and shit.
so as not to sully it with my dirty feet, I will walk around it as displayed here, and I'll start rolling.
Okay, this is a very long carpet. This is at least it's 15. No, it's 4 squares. That's 20 feet across. Yeah. So
Maybe I'll roll it long ways because I gotta fit it inside the opening of the bag of holding.
yeah, this is my point is you might want to have someone else help you on the other side. Otherwise, I'm going to actually need a.
Nah, fuck it, I'll help.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Just don't, no gnome porn. If there's any magazine pages under here, leave them.
Bjorg is looking around at this room, assessing it in light of who supposedly created it, and he's going to go, so, if there's anything I should walk away from this with, it's the impression that gnomes are on the whole a terrible fucking people.
I mean, these gnomes were a little
terrible.
shitty. I mean,
Racist.
little
Little
racist of
shitty.
you to paint with a whole brush.
I'm from the north.
I mean, they were trying to kill a terrible ancient evil. They had to try and find a weapon that would work.
More evil.
We will do it with not evil.
That seems to be what they chose.
And if they placed a few bets while they were doing it, what's the harm?
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be fighting to the death anyway, you may as well entertain the troops.
I'm pretty sure that's called war crimes.
Oh, I thought it was called pro wrestling.
I'm fairly certain there's some popcorn under this seat.
Okay, so Klaus and Fendingo, you guys are going to roll up that carpet. Just for fun, why don't you both go ahead and roll me strength checks? Definitely not to resist a grapple or anything.
Fendingo rolls a natural 20.
I'm gonna put this in my house. Klaus rolls a 14.
You don't have a house.
I'll save it, and I'll get a house someday.
So you can rob it repeatedly?
You could both successfully manage to roll up the carpet, which I will shrink way down to make more portable.
Oh,
Can I fit it in my bag of holding?
With Fendingo's help, you may.
All right.
But you have also now uncovered something that was under the rug. A small square device with a series of sort of rolling metallic balls, all numbered, and they can kind of be shifted and set up in an array that, I don't know, like you could enter a sequence if you wanted. Say some sort of weird magic gnome tech. It's a safe. It's a goddamn safe.
All right. I want to do.
Yes, and we have a sequence of numbers. I will remind you.
I got it. 80085.
That's not anywhere close to the sequence of numbers.
No, guys, trust me.
8675309.
No, guys, trust me. 80085. You're going to love this.
51622.
What humorous word does that spell?
I don't know, but it's the passcode.
Okay, Fandango punches in 51622. You hear some clicks and shifts as something kind of moves in place, and the door is now openable.
You ruined it, Fandango.
You're the rogue, and I'm the one who wants the treasure. There's something wrong with this picture.
I admit this is a confusing set of circumstances.
I got a rug.
Oh, okay, well that's fair. Open the safe.
Okay, you find a letter, and then you find a pouch underneath.
What's in the pouch?
You open it, and you find some strange, semicircular orbs. Like they've been flattened out a little bit. Almost like if you blew up a river rock, slightly more circular. They've got some strange inscriptions and stuff. It sort of looks more like gnome junk, gnome symbol-y stuff, more stylistically than actual words or anything. Although there are a few things that look like they might be recognizable. And then the letter.
I'm assuming the letter's written in Gnomish.
You are assuming correctly.
It says,
Hey, Brandon.
under no circumstances open this pouch.
Probably. Hey, Brandon, you want to come down here and read something?
Well, I spent a bit of time getting up here, so you can pass them up to me, if you like.
That chair looks like it was made for a 2-year-old.
It's a fucking power play right there.
It's a principle thing.
Yeah,
So what you're saying is that Brandon is like a cat right now.
Yeah, so are you, though.
Yes, but I'm comfortable. Bjorg says from the tiny, tiny chair that he squeezed himself into.
When the bard is the least fucked up member of the party.
I wouldn't say that.
All right, I'll take the letter up to Brandon, and I'll sit in the middle chair.
Okay, Brandon will read the note first before handling the strange rocks. I think that's a sensible way of doing things.
Oh, I didn't give you the rocks.
All right, you.
Those
wanna
might be
handle the
worth
strange
something.
rocks without translating them.
Yes.
All right, Brandon, you open the letter and begin to read. It is with a heavy heart that I must accept the Avalus influence has reached some of our own. I can no longer trust my own subordinates. I fear that some of them are working together to sabotage our efforts, perhaps to aid the Avalus itself. To that extent, I have moved the control gem from its hiding place here, given it to a friend named Jensen, who will hide it on Sector 4, the most protected sector, available to the least amount of people. Without knowing who is compromised, it is, sadly, the greatest I can do for now. With time, I pray, we will root out the traitors. But with an Avalith, nothing is certain. For now, I am simply stashing this as an explanation for any who come seeking it, as well as a small array of Gentronome tokens for redemption, in case resupplies are needed for the battle ahead. Good luck, and may the great gnome gods be with us.
And the note goes on to say that these tokens are poisonous to half-elf bards. Ooh, I guess you better hand them over, Fandango. It's lucky I read this note.
I mean, if I'm already going to die, who gives a fuck?
Ah, well, it's worth a shot.
So, what this letter is saying is that this Avaleth must be killed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, was that ever really in contention?
That's what I took from it.
That's sort of what y'all are trying to do. You're getting equipment for that.
Yeah, so...
Alright.
I guess we go back to the we want to go back to the Gentronome room and use the tokens to get better shit.
Yeah.
And
better
use
shit.
the other gems to open better doors.
Better shit.
Higher quality piles of turds. Yes.
Indeed, higher quality turds. Hey, in the far north, there are parts of the world where there are no trees, so you have to burn manure to stay warm.
I'm really glad I didn't come from the north. It sounds almost deliberately hard.
That's the effect of ice. Ice makes things hard.
Makes you hard.
Brandon will hop down from the platform now that Fandango has come up.
I do have a fondness for a good ice sculpture.
Oh, yeah, gotta go. All right, everybody want to go back to the little Gentronome Mall?
Yes.
Okay, you guys are done in this room. There's nothing else you want to search?
I guess I'll have a look at these tables. Sure, why not?
All right.
I'll take a quick peek over here, too.
I found a skull and opened a safe. This is more than I do in like 3 rooms put together most of the time.
All right, investigations from Brandon and Klaus.
Brandon gets the natural one on investigation. He's not really looking. He's just still a bit embarrassed about missing that jump earlier. So.
Oh, no.
Can I take my time?
Yeah, I mean, you guys don't really have anything to do.
Klaus rolls at 23.
You find nothing on the tables, just tables. This is where the commoners sat. You wouldn't really expect anything to be around here.
I wouldn't expect anything to be in the pit either, but...
Yeah, fair enough. Brandon, you find a dirty limerick etched into the bottom of the wood Gnomish. You're about to call over for the others because you mistake it for a beautiful poem. But since you were taking your time, you also had advantage. So at the last minute, you're like, oh, no, wait, that's the gnome word for bukake. Limerick, not poem.
Gnomish bukake.
There you go.
Did you write it?
People who carve things into tables are the same, regardless of race.
There once was a gnome named Mukage.
Drew, did you write the limerick? Yes or no?
No, I did not. But if you would like to, Bevan, you have full permission to go ahead.
Oh.
He had a fondness for bukake.
Yeah, there you go.
The ladies they pissed, and oh how he missed the guy whose last name was Muchache.
Bjorn,
beautiful.
do you want to check anything out while they're doing all this?
Let's see here. Hold on. So they're checking out the little plinth thing over here.
Yeah, they're checking out the tables,
Okay.
like the commoner tables.
Seen as the
So
altar,
far,
there's nothing in
no
the
one
altar
has searched the benches or the chairs.
corner. Yeah, Bjorg will search the benches.
Okay.
Nothing rhymes with Bukaki.
Muchache and Mugage. I already told you.
I already used Machache. There once was a gnome called Machache who had a fondness for Bukake.
Bukake, yes.
It came on their face. It was a terrible waste. I'd make this work if I could just find one more rhyme for Bukake.
That's the rest of the
Shiitake mushrooms. I mean,
Shiitake.
So if you want to, into what he took a huge shiitake. I don't know.
Isn't there a snack called Pocky?
Yeah, he ate some delicious black pocky.
Well, it's not a satisfying conclusion.
I mean, I feel like you could do cocky a little more easily, and if you can't find something to fit cocky and bukkake.
It's gonna bug me all night.
Bjorg, investigation.
All right, cool. Bjorg also mulling on Bukake rhymes. 17.
Okay, you check the benches and find nothing really. They're benches. They lift up, they move. They were just right up in the front row seating for this kind of event.
Bjorg is just literally lifting benches up with one hand while muttering into himself. Does that rhyme with Bukake? No, it doesn't.
All right, so Bjorg is lifting benches and tossing them around. Brandon and Klaus are looking under tables. Fandango and Arrow of the Gods have finished scouring that thing. Actually, Arrow of the Gods, you've had a little downtime. Is there something you want to search or do anything?
Well, considering they were all up here and didn't bother to search the chairs, I'll go up and search the chairs.
Investigation. And we've been giving everybody else advantage, so keep it going.
17's across the board.
Wow. That's weird. It's the second time you've done that. Okay. Okay, with 17, you can search around and eventually locate.
There once was a race called Kilrathi. Their culture was made of Bukake.
That is a culture. That is an interesting culture.
It's also a horrible Wing Commander joke.
So, Rick, you
Yes.
find a book. So these seats are a little more personal. You see, like, names inscribed. Like, these were people who were important within these departments' seats. This was personal shit. And in the lining of one, you find a journal tucked away.
Open it up and see if I can read it or if it's more gnome.
It is more gnome.
Yo, junior adventurer, do some junior adventuring. Toss it down to Brandon.
I had no idea there would be so much reading involved in adventuring. But yeah, sure. Brandon reads it.
Okay, so this one, I don't have a speech for. It's just a journal of a dude who worked between departments. It involves some sort of biochemical whatever that you don't understand, even when you do understand the words. But he basically worked between multiple departments. You flip through. There's gossip, who was boning who. This guy was boning a lot.
So it's basically the Journal of a Gnomish IT guy.
I mean, more engineer, but you're not far off. And yeah, so as you read through, give me an investigation.
Do I get advantage on this?
Yeah, we've been doing it the whole time. You guys are taking your time.
Oh, sweet. Brandon Firemaster gets an 18.
Amidst all the salacious gossip and whatnot, you do notice that the journal refers to a time in which the author was in Sector 3 and had an encounter in one of the rooms, and he sort of details a hidden little alcove that is very difficult to find if you don't know exactly where it is in Security Area 3.
Hey guys, does anybody know what a security area 3 is?
Well, since we just got the gem that would let us into security level 2, no.
Oh, okay. Well, should we ever be in security level 3, we should look out for a hard to find alcove. According to this,
This is Security Level 2.
Wait a minute, did it say security level 2 in the letter?
No, it said Security Level 3.
Oh,
We're not in
okay.
Security Level 3.
But
Okay,
we're
yeah.
in level 2?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then. This piece of paper is useless.
Why don't you hang on to it just in case?
It's almost as if you might be going to Security Level 3 in the future. At some point. In theory. In complete theory.
You don't control me, Drew.
I do not. You can go fight the Aboleth right fucking now, or you guys can fuck out of this place.
It's okay, junior adventurer. These things don't come natural to everyone.
I resent the implication that I will go from a security level 2 logically to a security level 3. I might want to go to security level 17. You don't know what I'm going to do.
Fendingo's bored. He's going back to the shopping mall.
Bjorg will follow Fendingo to the shopping mall because, home slice barbarian needs some more glitz and glam.
I got my rogue. I'm going with them.
All right.
Yeah, might as well.
Brandon Thighmaster?
Oh, fine. I'll go along with him. Yeah.
Alrighty. When you re-enter the prior room, back down the hallway, where you have killed all the slod poles and what have you, everybody roll me perceptions.
Fendingo rolls a 12.
Klaus rolls an 8.
Brandon Firemaster rolls a 24.
Arrow of the Gods rolls a 7.
You will, as you step in, everybody who beat 10 will notice that right over in this area, the corpses of the slab holes are twitching. Not like they've come back to life, but like something is manipulating them, more like muscle shaking than anything else. And they are kind of twitching together, and they're smearing a message in their blood. And the message that comes out is, "Let me out."
Oh, that's creepy.
Bjorg is gonna actually, he's going to walk towards the spot where is there any indication that these slot poles are capable of jumping at you or anything like that? Or
No, they are literally twitch dragging their eviscerated corpses along the ground.
I will just say, for the record, I am seriously disappointed that Klaus didn't immediately drop his pants and piss out the word no.
Well, Bjorg is going to walk over and literally spit on the message.
Klaus is on the
Get
fence.
fucked.
What if this guy can help us?
No, it's an aboleth.
Well, the aboleth isn't in the cage here.
He's making his demands with his children that we just murdered.
Well, this is the only way of communication.
Well, I have kids, and let me tell you, sometimes you tell them, hey, go tell your mom I said this.
How much, Fendingo's going to go over to the table over here. How much silverware is there?
Say a regular amount. There's 5 chairs, so 5 spoons, 5 forks, 5 knives.
You murdered my kids and stole my silverware.
Fendingo's going to grab up all the silverware he can and try to spell fuck you underneath where the slot poles are writing.
It's kind of hard to set the silverware in a perfect pattern while they're twitching and smearing, but they've stopped because they finished the message.
Yeah, no, on the, below the, not right in between, on the floor between the cage and the message.
All right, they begin to twitch again. They kind of smooth their way over here. They are beginning to degrade more substantially now, but they managed to spell out, "You need me."
Yeah, see, guys? I was telling you.
Next time he should try, please.
All right, if we want to ask this guy anything, he's running out of his kids' bodies to text with. So
yeah, it's almost like there's enough space for maybe one more message.
What?
Bjorg will simply look at the message and say, "Who are you?"
Or what?
What are you?
I'm Batman.
I'm assuming it can hear us.
Yeah.
Apparently it can see, too, because, well...
The what do you call it? The slot poles will twitch, they will smear, but this is the last of their workable muscle. And the response they leave is a prisoner.
That's helpful.
And you've seen what the gnomes did to their prisoners. It tells you something.
Yeah, it tells me I don't want to be in a pit with any of them.
If this thing was smart, it would have been so who are you? A wanton wench who likes bards?
Yeah.
I tried to keep it within the reins of what those slug bodies could still write.
Well, something? You should have had less pathetic children.
So Bjorg is going to walk over to is this the center cage? You said the center cage is covered, right?
The center cage is pitch black, you cannot see through the bars. And everything that has attempted to go through has hit one manner of shield or another. This is a fucking cage.
Well, I guess even if we wanted to let this thing out, we are incapable of doing so.
Well,
right now, that is true. You probably do not have the necessary stuff to let it out right now.
Yeah, and too bad your kids don't have enough guts left for us to ask how.
Yeah,
well, you know how. It says so right on the front of the cage. Do not open without control gem.
Well, we need that anyway.
So yeah, we'll be back as soon as we've got the control gem. I promise.
You see the things try to twitch, but there's nothing left to give.
Next time, use a pen.
He's still Arrow of the Gods, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Bjorg is gonna look at Brandon and go, "Why do you like him?"
He's right. I have a pen. This is just unnecessarily gross. He could have just asked for a pen.
He doesn't have a pen.
I've got an ink and quill. I tell you what, Brandon Firemaster will leave the ink and quill of parchment by the cage. And there you go, buddy. Try not being so gross in future, and maybe you won't get put in a cage.
I don't think he can reach them. That's
Arrow of the Gods will give Brandon a thumbs up.
We might as well wait and see. Does the pen move on the paper?
Pen does not move.
Ah, bummer.
What an ingrate. What a stubborn, ungrateful cage dweller.
one might presume that the only thing he was capable of influencing was the other sloths.
Wait. I will take one of the sloth baby corpses, bring it over to the parchment, and wrap its dead little fingers around the pen.
Thinking outside the box.
Explain to me what fingers on a tadpole-like monster.
Fine, I'll just jam the pen through the damn thing.
God! Damn it!
It's not cruelty to animals if they're demonic, if they're dead demonic things.
We're
No, but
just
it's
trying to
gross.
communicate.
There's really just not enough left. It burned all the workable muscle in making those things. You're rubbing bits of slodpole on a pen.
Well, what if we take a bunch of them and just kind of smush them together into one slod ball?
That's disgusting.
Okay, so you're basically trying to make a sloppy Joe.
Well, yeah, like when you have like a whole bunch of little soaps and you like crush them together and make one big soap.
Yeah, you're making a sloppy Joe.
Yeah.
I like that.
So yeah, you mash them together, and you realize at a certain point that everyone is just kind of staring at you as you mash monster bits together around a pen like you're trying to make an upside down flesh lollipop.
I'm not staring. Ron Weasley, Jeremy, and I are looking away. This is gross.
And this is why I'm the arrow of the gods and you're not.
This is beneath me.
That is definitely a true statement.
Some kind of crafting badge.
And when Klaus looks away, peg him with a slod ball.
The one or like the slod ball you've been making.
No. Let's see if this thing can write with this mashed up slod ball.
No, it definitely doesn't write.
Uncooperative.
Yeah. I'm like we're working with you here.
Yeah, I'm taking my stuff back.
Really? I'm not sure I'd want it now.
Some of that paper and ink is still
That
good.
pen is never gonna smell the same way again.
It's my only pen. I'll wrap it in some paper.
If only you were going to a place where you could buy virtually any standard supply.
Yeah. Keep the slod ball in case we let this thing out and I got to teach it a lesson.
Oh my god.
Wow.
It's in a message. I'll leave it the pen. Normally I like to kind of recycle things, being a monk and living the ascetic lifestyle. But the pen's kind of gross now. It can have the pen.
Boy, aren't you going to feel silly when our lives depend on writing something in the next room?
So far, my primary purpose for the last few rounds has been reading stuff, so that's not so incredible.
Very true. All right.
If we get to the end of this particular arc, and the big bad quest is to, we get a certain amount of time, figure out a rhyme for bukkake and write it down. I'm not going to be overly surprised if that's what Drew has in store for us. So,
Well, I can't use it now. You've seen through it.
We will challenge the avalanche to a rap.
God. If we could get some people on here with actual musical talent, that would be fun.
I think that would be way less amusing.
Does anybody have anything else they want to do in the slot room before moving on?
No, and neither do they.
We'll be back for you, buddy.
All right. You can all get back to the main Gentronome chamber, and that is where we will pick up next time on Authors and Dragons, the game. But now it is time where we take questions from the audience. Some of them come from facebook.com/Authors and Dragons, but first, we like to let our Discord people jump the line since they're Patreons. So, Rick, what you got for us from the line-jumping fancy people at patreon.com/Authors and Dragons, which you could join right now if you're listening?
All right. Well, here's an author one. Josh asks, what's your stance on DRM, both as a content creator and when you purchase digital content?
Okay. I don't like DRM. I know it sounds strange because I'm the one who's talking about not liking fanfic stuff in an earlier broadcast, but I think that DRM takes it one step too far by creating too many ways that it can screw the consumer. If I buy a if I buy a song, I should be able to play it on not just my iPhone or iTunes, but on my Android device too. It should be, things should work cross-platform, and I should be able to make a backup of my shit. So
yeah, I'm with John. My philosophy is you shouldn't punish the people who are paying through legal means with a less functional copy.
Yeah, I'm on the space of and as a consumer, DRM has only ever been a pain in my ass.
Yeah, and there's also the fact that that ebook DRM is so ridiculously easy to break. It literally exists really just to be an annoyance. Like, it doesn't protect anything.
I don't understand it, so I'm going to agree with the other guys.
Yeah, I agree with Bevan.
This one is for Joe. Kinetic Medic asks, tell us more about HEMA.
Okay, so HEMA stands for Historical European Martial Arts. And first thing I'll tell you is that this is a ridiculously broad category. Like, it includes everything from Renaissance rapier to, French savate, would technically fall under that. For me, though, and what, you've probably seen, is, tournaments of European longsword fighting. And what I study is a system called Kunst des Fechtens, which is a 14th century German fighting system that includes longsword, messer, sword and buckler, dagger, wrestling, and later on armored fighting and horseback fighting. And the thing about the activity in general is what we're doing is the European battlefield changed so rapidly over the Middle Ages and Renaissance that most of their fighting systems died out. We don't have a lot of living lineages. So it's basically a bunch of us sort of martial artists and nerds and history people taking these old fight books and historical texts where they actually describe their fighting systems and attempting to recreate them.
My takeaway there is no scenario outside of us a mile away with sniper rifles in which Joe cannot beat the shit out of all of us.
Yeah, that was I think someone asked us that at a con once. He's like, why do you guys always joke around that in a fight Joe always wins? We're like, because we know what Joe does in his spare time, and Joe definitely would win.
Yeah, I think Joe could reach me before I got the sniper rifle working.
Not that fast. But you got an advantage right now. My back is out.
No, I'm just that inept.
All right, well, now that Joe has finally clarified why everyone on Authors and Dragons fears him, let's go to the other questions stream from facebook.com/AuthorsandDragon. Joe, why don't you walk us through that one?
Let's see here. Our friend, this is a good one. Our friend Brett says, which of your characters would you most like to be elected president? I'm holding out for President Thunder. I'm assuming that he's talking about books as well as...
I assume, book characters, because unless one of you has a similar one, Thunder is referencing one of my characters.
Oh, God, I hope he doesn't mean our characters in the game.
Yeah. If I were to put a character, it would definitely be Judge Hungry. I mean, he's a student of the law, he believes in fairness and equality.
And he's hungry for justice.
And, he evaluates every issue both from a civil perspective and as a servant to the greater good. So, yeah, Judge Hungry for sure.
Hungry for president.
Klaus is a drunk who shits himself. It would probably be better on the Supreme Court.
Oh, God. I think when she's got some more years under her, Amy would make a pretty good president, but she'd probably be opposed because she's such a radical.
My characters, I guess Hand and Strike would probably be a good president, seeing as he's functionally immortal and inerringly responsible and serious. I guess those are useful traits. If he wasn't qualified to be president, he could put a couple of 100 years into learning how to be a good one.
Just gonna go with Julian. He's the only semi-good person I write.
Semi-good.
Semi-good.
I was going to say, my main characters are either inept or murderous, so I would go with actually one of my bad guys, Alex. Basically Alexander the Great. I mean, the guy already conquered the world once, did a pretty good job of it. You know,
That's what we want in a
Who's-
president.
yeah, but it shows he knows how to get shit done.
There is truth to that. Next question. All right, let's see here. All right, so our friend Jennifer asks, what are your guys' favorite treats this time of the year?
Ooh, do we mean Halloween treats?
I assume that's what she means, or just autumn.
We have explored this extensively on the Mimic chest, so I don't know whether we should make suckers pay for that information. I got more than one favorite treat. I got lots of favorite treats.
so many good treats.
Yeah.
I am overly fond of pumpkins, so.
You know, I know it's a trash like snack, but all the same, a good fresh homemade popcorn ball, I like it.
I am one of those horrible people who likes candy corn.
Oh,
Jeez, I was just gonna go with sex.
Trick or treat.
well, I mean, we already talked about pumpkins, Rick. It's for a carving contest. Don't look.
Which Halloween treat would you like to fuck the most?
Pumpkin.
Come on, listeners, get with the questions.
Like giant gummy bear, right? You could carve a dick hole in that.
Oh man, I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
You would need the carve. You could drill one into it.
I don't really feel like pounding my erect penis against a gummy bear is going to be that enjoyable for a long time.
Well,
Like,
that's going
that
right
just
up on
feels
the
like
live
that
blog
would
right
hurt.
now.
That's quitter talk right there.
Yeah.
That makes it last a little bit.
You're more just hitting yourself in the penis than anything else.
Well, you don't just ram it in. You ease
That's
it.
what Rick was proposing.
Well, you gotta have a little foreplay there.
Slapping it?
You don't know what gummy bears want.
All right, this took a terrible turn, and I'm so sorry. It's my fault.
I like beer.
And post a live blog immediately. All right, do you want to do the next question?
God,
Please.
yes.
All right. Let's see here.
Cock slapping a gummy bear.
Our friend Jeff, God fucking damn it. Our friend Jeff said, if you had only one Halloween costume for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Gummy bear.
Now, is this the costume that I wear every Halloween, or is this all I can wear for the rest of my life?
Let's say Halloween. They specified, and you work in theater, so you have way too many professional concerns.
No, I was just thinking, do I have to... Does do pants have to be involved? Ooh, I want to be just a ghost under a sheet.
You want to be in the Klan?
Jesus!
Terrible Halloween costume.
God damn it.
Well, fuck.
So wait, does that mean that Klansmen are basically ghost cosplayers?
Oh, let's not go down this road.
Racist ghost.
Dunce ghosts.
All right, so one Halloween costume for the rest of your life. So you got to pick something comfortable. So, like, something real fancy might seem nice, but at the end of the day, you're going to wear this year after year.
Mine's easy.
Fursuit.
I'm gonna get a little what are those names badge stickers, like "Hello, my name is" sticker. I'm gonna write Rick Gualtieri on it, and I'm gonna just slap,
Fucking A, man. You just took my costume. God damn.
and I'm gonna slap it on the front of my Caverns and Creatures T-shirt.
Well, if I can't be a ghost because it's racist, I'll be the dude from,
The Big Lebowski.
That's the one. Because pajamas and a bathrobe.
I'm gonna wear a fucking animal onesie.
I've got I usually craft my Halloween costumes around the inevitable possibility that I'm going to be really drunk. So I normally make them quite practical and comfortable. And I once made a really kick-ass Ghostbuster costume where I modified a World War II flight suit. And it's like wearing a big comfy onesie. So, yeah, I'll just wear that.
I really love Halloween, and I love varying up my costumes from year to year, so this is kind of a tough one. I have a costume that makes me look like a giant beer bottle. that I wore to a beer run a few years back. Which, by the way, those are awesome. You have to chug a beer, then you run a fourth of a mile, then you chug a beer, then you run a fourth of a mile, and so on until you've done a mile and 4 beers. People vomit everywhere.
I think I'll just stand in one place and drink.
I don't know. You feel less guilty. It was fun.
I never feel guilty.
We have established that Drew is a professional.
I've been drinking beer all night, sitting in a chair. I feel great.
I liked that beer costume. I wore it for Halloween. It was a lot of fun. It was comfortable. It's sort of a universally appropriate because I'll never stop being okay. It'll just stop being stupid because I'm young, and it'll start being haha. It's funny because he's old.
First off, fuck you, Bevan.
Yeah.
And second, just because you picked that, my costume for the rest of my life, just to make you fuckers uncomfortable, is a cocaine statue of J.K. Rowling.
I would
think
love to see that costume. How that becomes a costume. I would watch the whole process, the artistic inspiration, all of it.
I'd see what would be even better is like, I mean, if Rick does that, we're going to kind of get it. But if a random listener turns up to a party dressed as a cocaine statue of J.K. Rowling, they're going to be explaining themselves all night long. You know what to do, listeners.
And that's why you got to be like, well, what the fuck's wrong with you? Obviously, I'm a cocaine statue of J.K. Rowling, dumbass.
I imagined it would look like a Statue of Liberty costume, but covered in white dust.
Now here's the real question. Who among the listeners is going to be an A&D character for Halloween and is going to send us pictures and stuff?
Maybe we need a Halloween contest.
Maybe we just started one. Boom.
All right. Our friend Barnaby says, if you had to punch a golden girl in the face, which would it be?
That's a good question.
Can we just say yes?
One of the ones that are already dead.
Wow.
I don't want them fighting back.
Yeah, I was going to say the little one, because obviously you don't want to tackle the big one. But, you know, if we're going Bevan's route of, you know, they're already dead, then I guess that's not even a factor.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the dead one, too. It's if I have to punch an old lady in the face, I'd rather not actually harm one, so...
Well, you could be like you could be like Captain Marvel.
Yeah, you guys are pussies.
That's what she was a scroll.
While she was alive, Estelle Getty, because I think she would have just like... I actually don't like hurting people. And I honestly think that if I tried to punch Estelle Getty in the face, she would summon like some sort of energy shield that would repel my fist back into my own face.
Is she the little one?
Yeah.
Maybe? Yeah.
Did anybody see the picture of them in their prime?
Yeah.
I have a super crush on that tiny dead old lady in the past.
See, I'd go practical. I'm pretty convinced that like Betty White is like an immortal goddess. So if I punched her, it probably wouldn't do anything, or it might, and I just feel horrible afterwards.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it would do something, but what it would do is annoy Betty White, and she would fuck you up. She's the only one of the Golden Girls that's still alive.
Is she?
Wow.
I had forgotten Rue McClanahan died.
I assumed that he meant the Golden Girls as the characters, not the actual actresses who played them. So it's kind of like them being dead wouldn't be an issue. But now that them being dead is an issue, there's a whole new dimension to this question about, do you punch a live old lady or do you dig up an old lady and punch her in the face, and which... you just got to imagine explaining it to a police officer and which one seems worse.
He's just having an existential crisis.
I mean, if it's characters, I want to punch Rue McClanahan's character.
Digging them up seems like work. I want to just get this out of the way and move on with my day,
We're all pretty lazy, so we're probably fucking up some Betty White.
The question isn't, would you choose to? The question is, if you had to.
Oh, see, okay, so here's the other question then. Are we dealing with the undead ninja Golden Girls coming after us?
Oh, holy shit.
Wow, Joe, you had a lot of layer to that.
Yeah, I don't know if I want zombie B. Arthur mad at me.
No, I mean, she was an intimidating force when she was alive. I should imagine as some kind of undead warlock, she'd be terrifying.
I'm thinking I would still fight Estelle Getty because undead she would be the most dangerous.
She'd be like a fucking spider monkey, man.
Mm-hmm.
She would be like what you get if a spider monkey fucks a honey badger.
Oh my god.
Because it'll be all up in your shit and not giving a fuck.
Well, if we can't end on assaulting a golden girl, I don't know what we could end on.
That would be they're assaulting us, and they're on.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. We will be back in 2 weeks with more Darkness and Dragons, and we will see you next week on Side Quest. See you next time. Bye.
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 Fuck you, Barnaby.
Authors and Dragons is brought to you under a Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to those who created it, which is us, the people you just heard play the game. Opening and closing themes performed by the Gore Core 4.
Authors and Dragons! Authors and Dragons!
Okay, right, I've got one. All right. There once was a gnome called Mukaki who had a fondness for bukkake. He came on their face, it was a terrible waste, but it made for one hell of a party. There you go. I'm going back to bed now.